that everything has gone sideways in Britain, hasn't it? In some parts of the country, there has been a massive storm called Gerodri. I can't remember what it's called now. I know it begins with a G.
Geronimo?
It's not Storm Geronimo. Can you imagine that? And
Geronimo!
Unfortunately, roads are not passable because of Geronimo! But no, there has been a storm hitting very much the western side of the country. Bit of snow, bit of ice and horribleness, wind and all sorts of problems falling out of it. Eastern half of the country, absolutely nothing. Just a little bit of rain, maybe sleet if you're pushing it. And I know exactly where the boundary is. And it's somewhere between Edwinstowe and Mansfield.
I thought you were going to say between Edwinstowe and Greg's.
It's not, well...
Because that's where we discovered it when we went for a breakfast.
Yes, because Greg's is in Mansfield. and it snowed there, and somebody had decided when they were getting their breakfast back, you know, the sausage and the bacon, all that deliciousness, you know what, I will build a snowman on the tables outside.
And it's on Sutty's page, so you can have a look.
Whereas mere miles down the road, not a lick of the white stuff. It is the first time in my life I've seen it being that harsh a line.
Yeah.
I know there's always a cut-off somewhere, but it's not. It's usually a bit more gradated than that. It's not like there's literally like a line in the road where suddenly there's snow. I think as we're approaching a roundabout, it suddenly went snap and there's snow.
Yeah.
It's weird weather we've been having here in Britain. And I did mention breakfasty goodness there. I'm going to be bringing up even more breakfasty goodness for a very specific reason. After this one from the Lakey Light Orchestra, it's all over the world on a wee natter, and we really do hope you are having a fantastic Sunday evening, and it only gets better with songs like this. Never mind all over the world. The storm that we've been enjoying over this last week wasn't even all over Britain, was it? No. Apparently, and thanks for telling us, it was Storm Goretti.
Goretti.
Yeah, had a few updates, including for Sandra saying, no snow here, most disappointed. Alfie Cat 555 saying, in Ayrshire, nothing at all, but it was all in the west and east of Scotland, which is a bit confusing because it was all in the west of England. Yes. Until you remember that Britain, I don't want to say it's on the piss, but it's on the slant, right? And this is this wonderful fact that you hear in pub quizzes and things like that. It'll blow your mind when you hear it. Edinburgh is further west than Bristol.
Wow.
Does that make any sense to you?
No.
Because Edinburgh's an east coast. Like, how does that work? It's because Britain's on the slant, right? So it means that makes sense. It was on the east of Scotland and it was on the west of England. It was almost like a straight line up and down. So I'm sort of seeing how that one works.
I feel like I need my globe.
You need your globe to see what Britain looks like and see how on the slant or on the piss that Britain is. And I'm not talking about on a Saturday night, because we know how on the piss Britain is on a Saturday night, don't we? And what follows Saturday night is Sunday morning, and you're looking for a glorious breakfast. And this morning, we ended up at a local establishment that sells breakfast baps and things like that. The problem is, the bap that they showed me, they gave me even, was just way, way, way too big. I think it had something reason of 4 separate sausages in it, a piece of bacon, and then they did put the little flag in the top. So you hold it up
all together,
But I'm sitting there going, I'm a big lad. I've got a big appetite. How do I get that into my mouth to eat it? Because you can't squeeze it down. Sausage is not compressible. No. You just can't do it. So I've been asking online for tips about how to dislocate your jaw and things like that. It turns out it's not a good idea. So if you're thinking about doing that, to enjoy that or a gourmet burger or any of the... They always do tall stacks of food nowadays, don't they?
They do. I thought it was quite good value for money, because I had beans on toast with a poached egg and a bowl of beans separate. I was like, okay.
Yeah, so that was my weird food story today. I was asking about how to dislocate food, dislocate my jaw even. Yeah. So I want to hear about your weird food stories, because I'm sure you've got some. We've all got weird and wonderful little food stories, whether it's just the fact that, at Christmas, I finally gave in and finally tried for the first time in a very, very long time a Brussels sprout.
Ah, yeah, you quite liked them, didn't you?
I wouldn't say I quite liked them.
Again.
Jenny had been building up and said, it's going to be this amazing thing, it's going to be great, you're going to love it. It's just a cabbage. It's a tiny wee cabbage. What's the pitch on that? Because cabbage is one of the most boring foods on the planet.
Do you put them in a stew, though? That was a conversation today, wasn't it? I was like, I passed on by. I didn't buy another bag because I'm trying to make a bit of a beef stew. And for some reason, cranberries are in this recipe. So I purchased some frozen now, cranberries. But then I thought, do you put Brussels sprouts in stew?
Each to their own on that one. I'm not going to make comment because I'm not a stew person, but I've just seen a little message come in asking, did you get free hot drinks? Yes, we got hot drinks with the breakfast. It was a whole package deal thing.
Oh, were they free?
Yeah, because it was part of the breakfast. You got a tea or a coffee.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
You couldn't have you can't do fancy coffees. You can only do basic coffees and basic tea. But yes, you got that as part of the deal. So it was a proper break. But yeah, I'm going to open this one up to you. You know, it's not just me and Jenny who've got weird and wonderful food stories and things like that. I want to hear your food stories. Best way to do it is get in touch. Give us a call, text, or WhatsApp. The number is 07367 85 85 47. That's 07367 85 85 47. And talking about weird food stories, this lad must have a few, you know, turning things into bread and wine and all that good stuff. It's Jesus, and he knows me. Well, he knows the guys in Genesis anyway. Just see the face on the showing off a bit of the Genesis boys. Jesus, he knows me. I think he knows everyone else as well. I think that was the whole point in that story, wasn't it? Anyway, so on a wee natter where we're asking about your weird, wonderful food stories. You were asking about, what was it, cranberries?
Cranberries. It was part of a recipe for a slow cooker beef stew.
Indeed.
I don't know how many to put in, though.
Cheryl says, I never put sprouts in a casserole or cranberries. So no help there, unfortunately, other than to say, it's a little bit weird what you're doing.
Yeah, we're supposed to put red wine in as well. I haven't got any red wine. I haven't got any wine. Some Prosecco.
On that note, PG31 Cat does note that sprouts are great roasted with bacon and cranberries.
Oh, wow, that sounds nice.
Yeah, and Alfie says, I tried oysters for the first time at our son's wedding last year. Only two, I couldn't eat a plate full.
No. I don't think I could try one. Is that what slips down your throat? Are they a bit slimy when they go down your throat?
I think they're supposed to be. But I've never had oysters either. Or is it mussels? I get the two of them mixed up. You know, seafood is not really my thing. But if it was being offered, at something like a wedding, I would, out of politeness, try it and then deal with the consequences later. Because my understanding is oysters can be a bit of risky food.
Do you know what I also don't like the look of? Talking about seafood.
Oh, what do you not like
the look of? A crab
of?
stick.
Really?
Do you know what a crab stick looks like?
It's just a stick in the shape, made out of crab. I'd have to look it up if I'm honest with you.
Look it up and get the image and tell me what you think that image looks like to you. I once said it at some do I was out with years and years ago with some friends, and they'll never let me forget what I said it looked like.
So okay. I can guess what you said. But it doesn't really look like that. It looks like kind of a white or red cheese string would be the way I'd put it. That would be the comparison I would go for. I'm going to guess you went for a much ruder option. Go on, enlighten us, Jenny.
I said it looked like a used Tampax.
And on that note, we're going to be putting you in charge of what song we're going to be playing in Covers vs. Originals after this one from level 42. We are nowhere near level 42, unless we go to negative 42. We're in the gutter at the moment. It's a wee natter. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday evening. I've just seen a message come in that makes me think we need to have a section of the show called What on Earth Were They Thinking? Yeah. And this week brought to you by Sandra saying, my local council have turned our town centre into a one-way system. Morning, late afternoon travel is an absolute nightmare now, and you have to circle the town to get anywhere.
Oh, wow.
Have they pedestrianised it as well? And I do ask if they have pedestrianised it, have they thought about traders getting in and out of Dixon's? That's important. And there's a very old reference here as well. And talking about nightmares, PG Fairone Cat saying, I'm having some house renovations done. Ooh, fancy. Walls and ceilings all painted, new living room carpet tomorrow morning. So I'm sat here, bare floor, only the sofa in the living room. Nightmare. Or you've basically described how my parents lived for the first 6 months when they move house. Yeah. It takes so long to unpack the boxes. They just fill the sides of the living room. Yeah. I mean, we eventually do get around to unpacking things, but yeah, you've described that life to a T.
I think we need to see pictures.
Versus Originals.
part of the cardboard boxes?
It's the carpets. I love what people do to their homes.
Oh, once they finish,
yeah,
not while
once
it's...
they're finished.
Anyway,
yes.
I would have thought that being a cherry buffalo stance would be a palate cleanser after the image of the crab sticks that is seared into my mind now. Anytime I'm going to see them at a buffet, I don't think I could put them in my mouth. Not going far as, well, either of us fought for this one back in time. The Temptations Treat Her Like a Lady from 1984, apparently.
I thought it was late 70s.
I would have put 70s down as well. There you go, enjoying it on a wee nasser. You haven't heard that one in a good wee while. And talk about things I haven't heard in a good wee while. Apparently tomorrow is National Kiss a Ginger Day.
Is it?
Not Kiss a Ginger Nut. Kiss a Ginger Day. And Sandra's saying, I think George the Starbridge Station Cat will be busy.
Oh, I was going to say George, and then maybe lots of kisses for Gwynnie from the FC.
Apparently better keep Alfie in it as well. Anyway, in serious demand, Tuesday is National Rubber Duck Day.
Rubber Duck Day?
Rubber Duck Day.
I ain't got a rubber duck.
The problem I have with Rubber Duck Day is it gets confusing around these parts because we are in what I heard somebody describe as the Duck Belt of England. I bet you've never heard of the Duck Belt of England before, have you? And you're thinking furry things. Not furry things, flappy things that fly. You know, nothing to do with that. It's the word duck. And when you're in Nottingham, Mansfield, Lincoln, Derby, Stoke, Nottingham, all those sort of areas, they always say the duck appears in the words.
I've never said that. I say ale, but I've never used the word duck.
It's a bit like if you go further north, you start to hear hen or quine if you get really far north, you know, and things like that. There you go, the Duck Belt of England. And maybe we need to get it drawn on a map or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can turn it into a big official thing.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah, there's an
like
idea.
a duck as a mascot.
Some serious life advice there from David Bowie. You better not mess with Major Tom. And talking about hobbies, Jenny's got a bit of an interesting one, haven't you? Do you want to talk us through it?
Yeah, so I like, well, you do as well. We like to do walks, you know, out and about. And we used to do a lot of walks in the Peaks quite a while back. And we decided, because we've not been to the Peaks for a bit, we'll go out and do a bit of a walk in the Peaks. And we chose Castleton.
Yeah, admittedly, we made a mistake of going between Christmas and New Year.
Yes.
Went into the Peak District and went, well, we'll go walking. And then, hold on a minute, everyone and their dog's doing the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so
it was quite busy, wasn't it? Yeah. But anyway, we managed to find one of the last few parking spaces in the car park at Castleton. And you start off, as every walk, I start off with, you've got to go in the cafe, you've got to have a nice cup of coffee.
So you haven't even burnt a single calorie. You've not done a single step. It's like, right, you know, I need cake and I need coffee.
Yeah.
We need to get those done first.
It was just a coffee. You had your Coke. And then we were decided to start off.
Hold on. I should stress, I drunk the Coke.
You drunk the Coke.
I didn't sniff Coke.
No.
We should straight about that.
So we started off on our walk and it was quite nice to begin with. It was quite mild, chill. There was a family, I think, in front, but we were letting them stay ahead, weren't we? Because you had a couple of kids and a dog, and we thought we'll keep them ahead of us because we'll just have a nice chill walk. And then it got to a part that I kind of started to recognise as a place that I swear to God I've done it once and did not want to repeat myself again. And there it was in the distance. So I thought, surely to God, it can't be this place again that I said I wouldn't go back. And that Mark's quietly leading me on the outskirts towards this, you know, and it was. We ended up at Mamtor, didn't we?
You did, yes.
At Mamtor. You'd have thought it was Saturday afternoon in a shopping centre. It was absolutely packed solid, to the point where you're all kind of queuing up to get to the trig. People were there doing the selfies, posing and stuff. And then to come back down again, we decided we'd veer off, didn't we? Because everybody was continuing it. We went, let's go back down to Castleton. The most steepest rock formation ever. I sat down, I'm no word of a lie, I sat down and I slid down on my bum. I thought, I'm not bothered what I look like, what people think of me. I'm not standing struggling on the slippy rocks. I'm sitting on my bum, and I was shinning myself down on my bum. And I got down to the bottom in the end, but then we got to the bottom and we looked up, and I says to you, didn't I? I says, it's like people or on an escalator, because there was so many of them walking back to back. It was just like, it's just like an escalator. So I thought, you know what? At some point, there's going to be a vape shop up here. There's going to be a Turkish Barber's, and there's going to be a Greg's.
I think you're not wrong. At some point, somebody will put some sort of facilities on the top there.
Yes.
Because they've kind of already done it with Mount Snowdon, haven't they? They don't call it that anymore. They've gone back to the Welsh name. I forgot what the Welsh name is. Sue me. It's one of those things. But they already have the wee railway that goes up, and they've got a little cafe at the top.
Oh, they have, yeah.
Yeah, I suspect we're going to see something like that at some point, aren't we? It's just going to be an escalator straight up from the car park, so you can get your photo at the top, put it on social media, and then you can get your dirty sausage roll and have a fag as well. You know, it's a grand day out for the whole family. And admittedly, maybe not the whole family if we're talking about that. You'd have to have like a ice cream parlour or something, for the kiddies.
Parlour, yeah.
I can't turn around and say, you know what, we'll put a vape shop in for the kiddies. Even if that's who's going to ask for it.
Sure, I was going to say,
it's not going to get through planning.
Yeah.
And actually, thinking about that, if we're ahead of the curve here, and you think that's what's going to happen, what's to stop us from making it happen? Us being the people that run those little businesses.
Out of the cream teas.
While we go and organise that, you get to enjoy Texas, and I don't want to love her on a wee natter. The idea of building a vape shop on top of a mountain has got me wondering if you've got any sort of vice that you want to admit to. So it's something that you just give in to, you get cravings for.
Mine's got to be coffee and chocolate.
You've got an obsession with coffee and chocolate. The problem is, my vice is food. It's impossible to go cold turkey on food. You can't just go, no, I'm never touching it again, never doing a drop of it ever again.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, I've died. It just doesn't work. You have to try and moderate it. It's a big old challenge. The problem is, how big that challenge is has been reinforced to me by a supermarket. And you know those end of year things that they do where they go, I think they started with Spotify with their rewind or whatever it's called, YouTube, and where they look back over the previous year, they show all the things that you did and your top bits and bobs as well.
To and stuff,
Yeah. I got that from our supermarket that we use most commonly.
Yeah.
I'll admit, it's not the worst I've ever seen, because I did see somebody who also got one from the same supermarket, and it turns out their most bought item was a 5-pack of jam donuts.
Was it me?
How many packs do you think they bought in the year 2025?
3,521.
223. So
It wasn't me then.
So that's like 1,000 donuts. That's like 3 donuts a day.
Wow. You must be sharing them. God.
You hope. Or their blood is made of jam. That's all I can think when I see that. But I'll be honest with you, mine's isn't much better. Apparently, over the last year, I've bought 280 litres of Diet Coke. I'm surprised. You know that thing in school where they got you to get like a baby tooth or something like that. You put it in Coke and it would rot away. And it's like, oh, you don't want to have too much of this. It's bad for you.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I still have teeth.
Yeah.
I've not seen a dentist in decades. How do I still have teeth when I'm consuming that much Diet Coke? If you know the answer to that mystery in life, I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, we'll console ourselves over Lady A. I was about to call him by the old name. Lady A nowadays. And Need You Now on a wee natter. Lady A, Need You Now on a wee natter. We were chatting about supermarkets. I've just seen a few messages coming in saying Easter eggs are in the shops. It's January. Why Easter eggs? It's madness. And as Alfie points out, it's all about the money. Yeah, they're always on about the next season, the next big thing. And I don't blame them. You've got to look forward. You can't be dwelling on Christmas still unless you're into the whole Orthodox Christmas thing. And that's only just happened now. I'm
just thinking maybe I should do a bit of a taste test on Easter eggs.
The old taste of chocolate. I'm not sure what else there's to do on that one. However, for talking about supermarkets, we can't get over the fact that a lot of them are doing a wrapped thing, a bit like Spotify does, where it looks over the past year and says, here's the big things you've been buying. And we've just seen a top 3 come in from a listener, haven't we?
Yes, we have, yeah. And it's the best laugh I've had all year so
Go
far,
on.
honest to
So
God.
take us through it.
So these were the top 3 best things that you popped into your basket for last year. Number 1, Sainsbury's cat milk.
Hold on a minute. So cat milk, is that milk for cats or is that milk made by cats?
Milk
Either way,
for cats.
milk for cats. Either way, I don't
Milk
want to
for
drink
cats.
it. Okay, fair enough. Forgot that at the top. Right, what's number 2 then?
Number 2 is Sainsbury's wild bird seed mix, 1 kilogram.
Okay, each to their own. Maybe they just love that mix of nuts. I don't know what's going on here.
And number 3, British semi-skim milk, 2 pints of. How am I not thin? He says.
Now, combining those 3, so you got milk, and bird seed. It sounds like he's just making hearty breakfast for birds every morning. They're coming by his house and they're getting a bowl of cereal with some milk in it as well.
Yeah.
They're quids in all the time. If I was getting that every morning and I was a bird, I'd be turning up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have any issues with that. Get a lovely little breakfast, start a good day off. Talking about in the morning. It's Razorlight within the morning. Make it sound like we plan these things. We don't. We're just flying by the seat of our pants, if we're honest with you. We probably shouldn't be that honest. Razorlight on a wee natter, where we are looking back over the past year through these review things that all the different companies that are in our lives seem to be doing at the moment. And we had a look at one listener's top 3 and a comment has been made that apparently B&M birdseed is much cheaper. So if you're looking at birdseed and you are offering the birds a nice hearty breakfast every morning, then
I do need birdseed actually.
that is worth bearing in mind. Alfie points out the Monzo, who I bank with, did one, and the top shop that he went to, Costa.
That'd probably be mine.
The problem when you start looking back over your finances like that is you start to realise that some of your biggest suppliers are people like McDonald's and Greggs and Costa and everything like that. And you go, maybe I need to eat out a bit less. Maybe that'll help with the slimming down. And then you go, no, it's too tempting as you drive past. And you're just like, it's an early morning. They need a warm bath or something like that. It's very hard to turn these things down. And another thing that is very hard to turn down is Mission Musical Freedom, which we'll be doing after this one from the Eiley Brothers. This Old Heart of Mine is weak for you, apparently.
Mission Musical Freedom.
Indeed, it's a part of the show where we sneak a song on the radio you don't normally get to hear, and it upsets the big bosses and gods and consultants of radio going, no, you should only be playing the songs that everyone loves to hear all the time, not the songs that you love to hear every so often. And then we go, no, you need to hear these other songs. It's what brings variety and spice into life. And we're doing it today with a song from a band that you know quite well. Ever heard of Madness before?
Yes.
Ska, two-tone band. You'd say they're probably from the 70s, 80s, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Most of their big hits are from that time.
Yeah.
How about a song of theirs from the back end of the 90s? 1999. It was a bit of a revival for them. The revival didn't last all that long, I'll be completely honest. And then Suggs went on to be on TV at some point, wasn't he? Yeah, he presented a show on Channel 5 in the early days. I'm not making this up. I'm doing this from memory, but I'm not making this up. Anyway, this song did manage to get them back into the top 10 after a rather long gap. I'll be honest with you, 1983 was the previous top 10 hit they had.
Wow.
We are, of course, going for Love Struck.
Staggering.
During that last song, Jenny was going, it's not that old, is it?
I didn't think it was.
Yeah, in 1999, there you go, Love Struck from Madness. And BG31 Cat saying, yes, I didn't make it up. The TV show Suggs presented was a karaoke show, yes.
Oh, wow.
I knew it involved music, and I remember he was the presenter.
Yeah.
And I remember on Channel 5, but it's so long ago, I don't remember any details beyond that. And Alfie's been in touch, asking, is that a Christmas wreath on the door still behind you, Mark? Now, you can watch this radio show. It's available on Mixcloud and Twitch. And behind me, you will see a wreath hanging from the door. It is, I would say it looks like a Christmas wreath, but I'm not the person that put it up there.
No, it went up yesterday. It's my spring wreath. It's got little, coloured daisies on.
Okay, I didn't even know a spring reef was a thing, but apparently we're learning all sorts of weird and wonderful new things today.
The Super Shunky Sunday Quiz.
A Wee Natter with Jenny and Marc Steele.
Indeed, it's time for the quiz that is so cerebral it consists of just one question, and so high budget the prize consists of, if you get it right or if you're a bit more like me. And this week we are borrowing our question from the 2000s version of the Trivial Pursuit mini pack. So we're being all millennial today. And I'm going to ask you, what candy, you can tell it's an American question, what candy did 4 scientists mix with Diet Coke to produce geyser-like reactions in a 2005 video that went viral?
Geezer, as in you're a geezer. He's
No.
a geezer, isn't he?
Or geyser, you know, like water shooting up,
yeah,
erupting.
one of them.
Yeah. You can imagine it, can't you?
Not a geezer. All right, geezer.
Oh, I'm a darling geyser, ain't I? No, so which candy did 4 scientists mix with Diet Coke to produce geyser-like reactions in a 2005 video that went viral? If you think you know, I'd love to hear from you. The number is 07367 85 85 47. That's 07367 85 85 47. You can also do the chat on the live stream and whatnot. And while you're having a wee ponder about what you chuck into a bottle of Coke to make it explode, we'll enjoy a bit more of a relaxed song from Suzanne Vega. It's Luca on A Wee Natter. Suzanne Vega and Hooker, as Jenny was calling it a second ago. It's Luca. You just need to get it right, don't we?
Yeah.
And we're asking you our wee question.
The Super Shunky Sunday Quiz.
A Wee Natter with Jenny and Marc Steele.
And how are you doing with working out what candy did 4 scientists mix with Diet Coke to produce geyser-like reactions in a 2005 video that went viral? We've had a few cases coming in, haven't we?
Yeah, me and Stephen all are going with sherbet powder.
No, I like your thinking, but no, not quite. Alfie in with spot on, the correct answer. Well done. PG31 Cat said, I think it was a mint sweet, not sure.
What happened there?
I don't know why that stopped there. Because, yes, it's mint sweet, but we need a bit more detail than that. I can't just give it because some mint sweets would do nothing if you put them in there. Sandra's saying, have you ever put loose change in Coke? It really cleans them up.
Yeah, I heard that.
It does great things for my teeth. That's why they're pearly, shiny white.
I also heard it cleans toilets as well.
Alfie's saying the only thing I put in Coke is Bacardi. Anel76 with the correct answer. And on the clean for Argonath saying, I read somewhere that if you put jewellery, it can be cleaned by putting it in a glass of Coke.
Yeah, I read that.
And PG31 Cat saying, I'll stick with an ice and a slice in my Diet Coke. So, what do you stick in Diet Coke to make it erupt like a volcano, explodes?
Gunpowder.
No, you don't stick gunpowder in it. There is something you stick in there, and it makes for a very funny, exciting video when you see it
Can
happen.
we have another guess? Me and Stephen.
You can have another guess. Go on.
We think it's extra strong mints.
You're not getting away with just saying mints. It might be extra strong mints, but you're not getting away with just saying mints. You need to give us a bit more detail than that. And while you're getting that detail together, there is a little deadline on this. You do need to get your answer to us before the end of this one from the fray. It's Over My Head, Cable Car. Bet you've not heard this one in a wee while.
I never knew.
It's the fray on A Wee Natter. We've got to say thank you very much to Sandra Owens for tipping the show.
Yeah,
it's not
thank you.
something we ask you to do, but if you do it does help us keep the thing on air, keep us playing the music, and keeps our cat in numerous treats.
Yeah.
It's the point where we might have to buy a warehouse so we can start distributing the treats to her. It's not that bad, don't worry about it.
The Super Shunky Sunday Quiz.
A Wee Natter with Jenny and Marc Steele.
We're asking a fun wee question about what candy did 4 scientists mix with Diet Coke to produce geyser-like reactions in 2005 that went viral. Had a last minute wee guess coming in from Vicky saying, is it Polos? I like your thinking, but it's not Polos. It is a mint though.
It isn't. Look, just something else. Stephen's asked if we ever, or has anybody ever tried peanuts, putting peanuts in Coke?
Putting peanuts in
Yeah,
Coke?
it's a Southern
What?
American thing, apparently. Salted peanuts are the best.
Oh, there is a whole thing about roasted peanuts. When you get to South... Because we travelled through the US from New York all the way down to Florida, and we drove there. Roasted peanuts at the roadside is a thing when you get down into the South. There's fried chicken everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
But the thing you learn very quickly, the best fried chicken in, like a 20-mile radius of somewhere, is at the sketchiest petrol station you can find in that 20-mile radius. It doesn't make any sense, but that's the best place to get fried chicken. There you go. There's your advice if you ever go travelling in that part of the world. I assume a lot of people aren't doing it nowadays. But anyway, back to the Diet Coke.
Yes.
It turns out it was Mentos.
Mentos.
So it was a type of sweet, it was a type of mint, but yeah, you had to give us the details because it's specifically how Mentos operate and it triggers the explosion and all that sort of stuff. It's good fun. If you want to wind somebody up, you can do it as a prank. If you're very quick getting the top back on the bottle, go, there you go, there's your juice. Have a wee drink. And it doesn't just, pop open like if you shoot the bottle, it explodes.
You could pour it down the toilet and then put the Mentos in the toilet.
There's Jen's weird and wonderful cleaning tips, and while we ponder how practical that actually is, you get to enjoy Julian Cope saying, "World, shut your mouth." One of the more polite ways I've been told that, Julian Cope, "World, shut your mouth," on a wee NASA where the world is just going bonkers. I've just read this thing, and bonkers is the only word that comes to mind to describe it. Have you ever cried off or called off from somewhere? So you originally make plans, you're going to do something, and it's like, oh, a better plan's come along. I need to cry off so I can go to the better plan. Have you ever done that?
No.
You've never done that. I might have once or twice in my life. I'm not going to give details, but it might have happened once or twice in my life. The thing is, I'm not the only person to have ever done that in the world. And one of those people is Donald Trump.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, seriously, right? Guess why they've postponed the G7 annual meeting now? It was supposed to be held, I think, in the US, White House, all that sort of stuff. Why do you think they've cried it off? Why do you think they've rearranged it? What has come up that's more important, more interesting for Donald Trump? There's a tough wee question,
Yes,
isn't it?
it is.
This is the genuine headline. G7 to postpone annual meeting to accommodate White House cage match.
Cage match?
It's to celebrate Donald Trump's birthday. He's having a cage match in the White House gardens. Like wrestling, I was about to say WWE, WWF, whatever they call it, in his back garden to celebrate his birthday. Apparently that's more important than meeting some of the big leaders of the world. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do my birthday instead. I'm going to have a big, giant wrestling match in my garden. You look at me like,
I'm
you're
just
making
thinking
this up.
maybe he should be in the cage with the wrestlers and the boxers.
Funnily enough, wasn't he... I don't want to put things into your mouth here or anything like that, but I believe he was actually involved in wrestling at one point. He has appeared as a character in the wrestling world, in the ring. I think it was set up so he'd win, if I remember correctly.
Probably, yeah.
He has appeared in wrestling matches on the telly and things like that before he became president. It's absolutely mad. And as Sandra points out, he wants it in Greenland. Yeah.
Oh, well, say no more.
Oh, Greg. Honestly, Greenland is. If we look at world affairs, I'm not going to turn this into political show, but we'll touch on the topic of politics. You can't avoid it, right? So you've got it all kicking off in Iran at the moment, and that's happening. That was a bit out of left field. I wasn't expecting that to happen quite so quickly, right? Then you've got Greenland going on. Then he started to make comments about Cuba now, going, you want to make a deal before it becomes too late. Like, what? You're going to take over Cuba? The whole, does he not know about the Bay of Pigs and Jesus? It's absolutely bonkers. And Sandra also points out the last time world leaders had a big meeting, they failed to invite him. So I suppose his nose is a little bit out of joint. It's like, well, if you can't invite me, it's not worth turning up to. So they arrange it for his birthday. It's just absolutely bonkers. Every time I look at the news. Now, at the moment, and I used to be of the opinion, you need to keep up with headlines and things like that. I've stopped doing that now. Because every time I open the BBC News website, it's like, what on earth is going on? It's like every other day that I open it, I used to watch, every morning, that's what I'd read. I was never big into the Scotsman or the Guardian or anything like that. Never big on papers. Used to buy a few red tops because it made for great radio content. You find the funny stories in there.
Yeah.
Just don't buy the Daily Star because you'll be talking about buses on the moon and things like that. It's its own thing. But never big on the big serious news. But I did follow it to some extent, and it's just got to the point. It's like I can't even bring myself to follow it now. It's just how the world has changed. And as PG-31 Cat puts it, he is dangerously mad. And on that cheery thought, let's go back to the time before he was dangerously mad with Frankie Wilson and Do I Love You? Indeed I Do. A bit of Nerve and Soul, this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, get out on the dance floor. They still got a casino in Wigan?
No.
They still do pies up there? It's a wee natter where Jenny has made a mistake of looking out the window into the darkness and scared yourself. What's going on?
We seem to have a gale force wind blowing here now, and ordinarily I wouldn't mind, but if I'm driving myself into work tomorrow,
which you are,
pitch black, and it's raining and it's down country narrow roads and everything, this stresses me out.
Just a bit of wind. Just to check, your car is powered by petrol, right?
Yes.
You don't have a giant sail on top and you're tacking your way down the A1. You're not doing anything like that, are you?
No, but it does stress me out because if you feel your car being taken from side to side, I think I'm going to get flipped over or something. I feel like I'm not in control. Yeah, I hate it. I'm not a very good driver in the rain and the snow and the ice.
So when you were talking about in the wind, you almost sound like you're pitching for a sports car. I need something that's low slung, it doesn't get caught in the wind, all that kind of stuff. And then you started talking about snow and ice and things like that. It's like, no, that doesn't work. It's an idea.
No.
It's an option. It was an idea. But let's move you on from worrying to something that's a bit more joyful. You wanted to bring up the topic of toys.
Yeah, I did.
Things. Yeah, talk us through it.
So, when you go looking around if you've had to go and buy a present for like nieces and nephews or whatever, so you go around a toy shop, you have a look and you see what they've got. Sometimes you see these toys that have got a try me button.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't care what anybody says, even as an adult, if it's a try me button, I'm trying that toy. I want to have a go at trying that. They draw the line, obviously, like you got your little bicycles, little tricycles. Obviously, I can't sit on one of them in like one of the toy shops and have a bit of a cycle up and down the aisles just to see what it's like to drive this little princess's bike with the old stabilizers on. But am I the only one that wants to test them out? Do you know, like, did we go to that space? What did we go to in Leicester with the water thing? What was it? Was it the space thing, or when they had the water? Was it the Severn Trent thing? And they got the bit for kids, and you can see our water, where it comes from, how it's stored, and all that sort of thing.
Oh, that was that's the reservoir,
yeah. And they've got the interactive map on the mat thing on the floor, and the idea is kids stand on each part of it, and it tells you where water comes from, and it just explains loads of stuff. But every time you stand on it, it makes like a little droplet noise. And I'm on there. I'm standing on all the little types of squidgy bits, and I'm listening to the noise, and I'm playing, and I'm interacting in the kids section of it because I want to know what's going on. And I'm just wondering, am I the only one as an adult that will actually do that?
So you're talking about going to these interactive museums, not necessarily just that one, but any of them where it's like the science museums, things like that, where they've got the interactive exhibits. You have to interact. Yeah.
What about the organs that they have out? They've got the piano or the organs that in Toys R Us or whatever. Are you going to have a go on one of them? Ding, 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 ding. You know what I mean? Because they're just there, aren't they?
It's a bit like those, because they put them in train stations and things like that now, don't they?
Yeah.
You can sit there playing the piano. Problem is, I know that you can't play that instrument.
I can't, no.
So it's no good. And talking about wind, you mentioned, it's a bit scary wind going on here. I've just been sent a message from Paul saying it's very windy here, Jenny, 50 miles an hour.
Oh, my word. I've just got the wind sign on my app.
Although on the plus side, if the wind's pointing the right way, it's going to do amazing things for the fuel economy, isn't it? You'll get to work in no time. You should be riding the brake the whole way there. Getting back will be tricky though. They're right, it doesn't break even. The script on a wee natter where you're still worrying about the wind, aren't you?
Yes.
But can I get you to worry about something else instead? How about the world of artificial intelligence and how the robots are coming to take over the world?
Oh, wow. Go on.
Well, they're coming to take over the business world. They're not coming to take over anything practical. They haven't made a robot that can do anything physical yet. That's how it is. But it turns out that a couple were getting married, and the officiant went on to ChatGPT and said, here's the usual speech. Can you make it a bit more playful so you can reflect the joyful approach that the couple have to life? You know, you try and match their personalities. You're thinking, okay, you know, that kind of makes sense. The problem is, it's all gone to court, it's all gone through the process, and the marriage has been annulled because it didn't meet legal requirements because they changed the words because ChatGPT told them to change the words when they were making their vows. Because they, rather than saying I do and things like that, you know, we're saying things like continue to support each other, teasing each other, and embracing each other even when life gets difficult. Not only husband and wife, but above all, a team, a crazy couple, each other's love and home base. Which, you know, it sounds reasonable enough, but it turns out it went to court and they've annulled the marriage, so they're going to have to spend all that money again and go get married again.
Wow.
And that involves a stupid amount of money. And talking about stupid amount of money, you know, we were talking about politics earlier, and Sandra's saying it's all about money and oil, and PG Fairone can't say money oil as well. It just made me think of Dallas.
Yeah.
Does that mean, I don't know if I'm getting the right TV show here, but does that mean that we're all going to wake up in the shower?
In the shower, yeah, that's it.
And it will have just been a dream?
Yes.
Will that genuinely been what happened?
Yeah, that'll be it, yeah.
If that's the case, I'm going to go to sleep now while you're enjoying the stereophonics. I'm going to try and wake up in the shower. Hopefully I don't keel over, because I've done that in the shower before. It's painful. But if I wake up and suddenly, you know, the last 15 years just weren't a thing, it'd be brilliant. Stereophonics distracting you from the politics and the scariness of the day. Have a nice day on a wee natter. And on a less serious topic, how many times do you wear trousers before you wash them? Genuine question, because it is not one on trousers.
Couple of times, I think. 2.
Because underpants and things
every
like that,
day.
once and done.
Yeah.
Unless it's, you know, an extreme circumstance and you just couldn't get home or whatever, fine. Maybe 2 days, that's the limit.
2 days? That sounds gross.
But there's something about trousers, especially jeans. You can just keep wearing and wearing them, right?
And leggings for the ladies.
I can't comment on that one. I will have to take your advice on that one, because the reason I bring this up is I found a bit of advice from Levi's, apparently, recommending that their jeans be worn 10 times between washes.
Wow. 10 times?
That seems like an awfully high number.
It does.
Admittedly, I've probably gone higher than that on occasion, but then I'm the sort of person who has trousers that could be described as more holy than godly nowadays. You know, I've got to the point in life where, you know, I'll buy something, I'll run it into the ground.
Yeah.
I don't buy it for fashion. I buy it because I like it. It's comfortable, that sort of thing. And I'll keep wearing it until it gets a hole. And I'm like, oh, I could try and patch it, but, you know, at that point, by the time it's got a huge hole across it, it's like there is no patching to be done.
Yeah.
There's no fixing this. And I've just hit the point where when I then chuck these things out, I sit there going, hang on a minute, when did I buy that? And I have to work out which decade, never mind which year that I purchased the thing. It's just funny how life sort of cranks on a bit like that, doesn't it? Yeah. Is there anything else you wear a ton of times between washing? I guess shoes. You don't wash them every time.
Bras. I don't really wash my bras that very often. I don't know if that's gross or not, to be honest.
Although, to be fair, you do burn them a lot. You know, she'll buy a bra, she'll wear it, you get some use of it, and then suddenly you'll be hacked off about something else, you'll be burning it in the garden. You know, we just get used to it nowadays. It turns out the consensus is about 7 days or a week you can wear jeans or leggings. I don't know about formal trousers or work trousers or something like that, especially after you spilled your lunch on them.
Oh, yeah. I always spill my lunch on my shirt.
And as Alfie points out, as kids, we only had a bath on Sunday night. Nowadays, It's nothing to shower every day. Yeah, it's kind of madness when you think about it, isn't it?
Yeah. Sunday night.
And I don't remember us running around stinky all the time.
No, I don't. Sunday night was bath night with some matey.
I don't want to joke here, but seriously, Jenny did have us try to find some matey recently, because I think you were going to try and reminisce about your once a week bath with matey, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's not got. I went round undoing all the tops. It's not got the same smell.
It's not got the
and
same.
there's a Mrs. Matey. I don't know if that was around when I was a kid. I'm not sure, but they've not got that nice same matey smell now.
Good question. And that's about it for a wee natter this week. I know, sorry, we'd love to hang out with you for longer, but they do limit exposure. And I'd love to say we'll be back same time next week, but unfortunately, I am gallivanting around the world with my job. So I am travelling, the day job beckons, I've got bills to pay, so I will not be around on Sunday. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time. But before we go, there's one last thing we do need to do, and that's to give a title to this episode in case you're catching up on demand. We've got a couple of options. One of them is Vape Shop at the Top of the Mountain. The other one, Crab Sticks of Horror. And I don't know
crab sticks.
I don't know which one we're going to go with. And while we're pondering that one, I'll leave you with one last comment from Alfie, pointing out that matey wasn't the only bathing tool available in the past. There was also soap on a rope.
Oh yeah, soap on a rope.
Or even just that bar of soap that... Yeah, give me my liquid soap nowadays.
Adidas. No, Adidas. I'll be back. How do you say it?
Adidas.
Adidas.